Hey everybody, this is probably going to seem like a really pointless video, but I figured I'd do a retrospective of PC game packaging specifically. And this is what we start with. This is from the 80s. And it's your cardboard box, you know, this is Artura. Some of you probably heard of this game. But you would have your system requirements down here on like a sticker thing. Of course, you'd have a lot of info on the back, lots of text. Not a whole heck of a lot of screenshots, and ignore the Rainbow Six thing for now. But they actually were like sleeve things, and they would come with insert boxes. Now in this box, you would have whatever game manual you have, whatever, this is as close to a manual as I've got for Artura. But, if I can get it out of here. Oh dear. Yes, it managed to. Yes, some of you, most of you actually, who are fairly young, who have probably never seen one of these before. This is a floppy disk. As you can see, it flops. And they would come in these sleeve things here, and you would actually, these are 5-inch floppies, and you would actually have the game on these. Now later they came out with 3-inch floppies. Those are the ones you're used to seeing, the hard plastic, that sort of thing. So that's pretty much how it was up until the CD era, back in roughly 94, 95-ish. Then you would have stuff like this, and this is on something else's screen. Excuse me. For a moment. But this is what you would have then. And as you can see, this is a gigantic box. I mean, if you take this and put it on here, like if you line up corners, look at that. And even worse, it's way wider. So you'd have your system requirements on the bottom, or on the side, depending on where you were. You have lots of stuff on the back. This is obviously fairly early ESRB. And then a lot of them would flip open like this. Some of them didn't, some of them did, just really depended on what you had. But then games would come in cases like this. This is Stronghold Crusader, just for reference. But this is a jewel case. You've probably seen a lot of these with CDs, well, music CDs. They don't really make games in them anymore unless they're bargain bin stuff. But these would actually come inside these boxes for quite a while. And eventually, they got wise. And they figured out, hey, we can have more shelf space if we, oh, by the way, this is also what would come in there. There's, these are multi-CD cases, multi-jewel cases anyway. And you'll sometimes see these with the, in the bargain bin as well. But they eventually wisened up and decided to do boxes like this. This is Drakensang the Dark Eye. And this is like a budget thing. But anyway, as you can see, this box is massively smaller than the Rainbow Six box. And so they had wisened up and figured out, hey, we can get more of these on the shelves, and in addition, that means we can sell more of them, and so on and so forth. But around that same time, this was probably around 1999-ish, 2000-ish, somewhere around in there, that's when they started switching to these kind of boxes. And some of them would flip open like the Rainbow Six one too. But, and some of them were really nice. They actually came with like Velcro in them to hold the front flap on. But they started getting cheap too. And like the case with a lot of these cases, stuff would start coming in this. Now, this is just a paper and sleeve with a thin plastic lining over the disc, so you can see what it was. Offers absolutely no protection for your disc at all, except for from maybe scratching, and that's it. So these would come in, these cases all rattling around like that, with the manual, and eventually they stopped printing manuals altogether and just put in like a small slip of paper giving you the install instructions. At least that was the case with Drakensang. Sometimes they would just leave the manual on the disc, and that became the case with a lot of these like budget titles, or the titles that were from Europe or Asia that were eventually just cheaply ported over to the United States. This is all US packaging, by the way, in case you didn't know by the ESRB rating. But stuff would come in those, and eventually they started doing well, maybe I should go ahead and tell you what consoles we're doing at this point. This is a Nintendo GameCube game, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Pretty much everybody knows this one. But notice it's in a DVD size case, like a standard DVD case. Now granted, the disc is much smaller than a normal DVD, but as you can see, self-contained, manual, disc, and they even had a slot for the memory card in these things too. These are really nice cases. But that's what consoles we're doing this time. This is roughly 2000, let me check the date on here, 2001 for GameCube. 2001. Draken Song. Checking the copyright date. Copyright 2009. Yes, these are still fairly common. Still. And consoles have been doing this since about 2000. Now, they used cardboard boxes, obviously, early on, but with the cartridge and stuff. Now, eventually they started putting games in cases like this. This is a standard multi-CD DVD case thing. This is the Hitman Trilogy. But as you can see, this thing is huge. It has space for, I believe there are 5 discs in here. There's one for Hitman 2, 2 for Contracts, and 1 for Blood Money, and then 1 for the Kane and Lynch preview disc. They even had all 3 manuals in here individually. But for something with multiple discs or a big manual or something, these are great. What they're not great for is this. Mass Effect. Now, you guys know this was a Xbox co-release, Xbox 360 specifically. But look what's in it. 1 DVD in this huge case, and 1 measly manual that does not fit in here very well. I mean, it's not thick enough to actually, like, stay positioned. I'm barely even moving this thing. And it comes with a little reference card, too, for your CD key. Mass Effect, 2008 on the copyright date. 2008. 2008. 2009. This one, I mean. And then they finally started wising up. Mass Effect 2, 2010. Normal DVD size case. And guess what? It's got 2 discs in it and a manual. Yeah. So, there's a little retrospective of game packaging and how wasteful it's been over the years, at least for PC. And this is a pointless video, but who cares, right? It's fun. Anyway, if you guys found that informative, then, well, good. If not, then, oh well. But, yeah, it just shows you how behind the US is in game packaging. Because Europe had these back in, like, 2005, 2004. So, yeah, US is pretty clingy to the old stuff. Anyway, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching.